Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. At this point, I just don't know what to do. I don't know whether to laugh, which I have been doing, because I ain't crying. There's no fucking way I am crying on here. I'm just going to need a couple, just a moment to just to take that in, really. I know Doyle's waiting in the sidelines for me, but I'll give him a little minute there whilst he's chilling there. But I mean, guys, we've just lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. I'll repeat. We've just lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. I'll repeat again. We've just lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. Doyle Mills. I mean, what the thing is about Doyle, yeah? I've been with Doyle today. We played 7-a-side, we had a boss day, had a few pints. We left each other thinking, oh, let's get back in time for the game. I mean, fucking hell, Doyle.
I've got no words, lad.
I can't speak. Like,
the worst performance I've seen on the Klopp, like, it really is. Like, that was a joke. That Adrian is, Klopp needs to be on the
floor. Okay. So, right, what I'm going to do is we're going to go from the top, right? Before we can name names and all this stuff, but let's start at the top. So, huge news that Alisson was injured, got injured in training. Thiago obviously out as well. That's a huge downer going into the game. Mane out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 2-0 down in 15, 20 minutes.
At that point, yeah. At that point, I'm thinking, we can bring this back because it's Liverpool. You know, like, that's what we do, lad. We can do that. But as soon as that Salah goal in, and then we conceded that third, lad, and then the fourth, I couldn't believe what I was watching, lad. That the team was got discombobulated, lad. None of them looked like they knew what they were doing, lad. They all looked like they were all just like lost a little bit, to be honest. It looked like they didn't know who each other were, lads. It was weird. It was a weird performance. The only player that I can say held his own was Salah. He got 2 goals.
Yeah, only player that did well.
He did. He tried, lads. But everyone else was just pathetic, lads. That was... If these don't get a slapping in up the arse now, like kick up the arse, lad, off this and beat Everton, I'm starting to worry a little bit, you know, because you know what we're not doing now? We're not keeping clean sheets, lads. We can't keep them clean sheets anymore, and it's worrying me. We need a bet set back up, and Gomez, mate. I love these players, yeah. Gomez is boss, lad, but today...
I mean, that's the worst performance I've seen Gomez play in a Liverpool shirt. I'm just going to rant a bit, Doyle, here, because I've never seen in my life a performance like that. The title of this video is... worst performance in 25 years. You said before we went on air, we haven't conceded 7 goals since 1963. I mean, it all starts with Adrian gifting it to Grealish. He passes it across the goal for Watkins. It's 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2. It's just an absolute disgrace. Like you said, Everton, the worst thing about this all, Doyle, we cannot now do anything about this for 2 weeks. There's an international break, and then the game that we play coming back is away at Everton. Yes, we'll have Thiago back for them. God knows whether we'll have Alisson in goal.
We won't, lad. We won't have Alisson, lad. We don't have Alisson, lad. So this is what I'm worrying about. It weren't just the mistakes that, like, if you watched Adrian today, yeah, you can't hate on anybody, lad, but today he just wasn't good enough, lad. There was a cross that come in, yeah, and he hit the bar off it, and he was on the other side of the goal, lad. I was like, he can't read the game properly. He doesn't know where to be. He just, that was horrible. That was the worst thing I've ever watched, lad. Like, genuinely, the worst performance I've seen from Liverpool, lad. Don't think I've seen a performance like that ever.
Couple of comments. Less shots, didn't dominate that stat. Obviously, we didn't dominate that. LFC hold this big L. You know what, Doyle? You know, I think we do have to just hold this one tonight. I mean, we've lost
Villa scored 7 goals past us, lads. That was like that's awful, lad.
I'm just gonna have to hold it. I've got to hold it.
Damn right. But you know what? The thing that Liverpool do, lad, is we bounce back. So I know this type of thing is Klopp's gonna be fuming, lad, and he's gonna look to do something different. I think the high line that we've been playing just didn't work today. Obviously, it just did. To be fair as well, right? 3 or 4 of them goals were deflections.
Yeah.
We bounced off of our 4 defenders and went in. Like, you know, it was just one of them days where it just didn't go our way, and they scored 7 goals. They could have scored more, to be honest. It was just what can you say, lads? Like I said, we just got to hold a little shitty L, lad, and we're not used to it, so it's fucking worse, lads. You know what I mean?
4 league defeats in 80 games, and then out of nowhere, this happens today. I mean, I'm lost for words, though. I've just never seen something like that from us. Every time they attacked, there was a goal. Every time they took a shot, it went in. Every single time they were in the box, they got lucky and got deflections. Like you said, 3 deflections out of 7 goals. It's just awful all round, apart from Salah. Adrian, awful. Gomez, awful. Van Dijk, awful. Trent, Robertson, awful. Let's not forget, guys. This is our first choice 4 defenders on the pitch here, and they've let in 7 goals. Gomez dragged off the pitch. I can't believe it, Doyle.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Gomez coming off at that point should look at himself and go, I need to take some time out. Like, if I was Klopp, I'd say to him, lad, I'm going to give you a few games off, you know, because his head looks battered. He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, lads. Gomez, he's a boss player, but he's not doing it recently, and I think we should just stick Fab at the back, get Thiago in, lad, and just start doing something different, because we're doing shite, lad. Like, we dominated against Arsenal, and we did, lad, but we still give them chances. There were still chances in there for them, do you know what I mean? The defence that I'm looking at just isn't the same, lad. It's not what we're used to. We're missing Henderson massively. They all look like they didn't know what they were doing, lads. Endo, Alisson, and Mane being out of that team is massive. Massive. So it's scary, because now I'm looking at this thinking, if these players are out again in the season, it's scary, this, lad. This is not all right. I think we all just need to see what happens at Everton. Everton are flying. If we can do something at Everton, then I'm sound. If not, every day,
I'm struggling to take anything serious tonight. The comments, Adrian pulled a Karras tonight, ROP Joe Gomez.
Lad,
I'm going to go sick, and I'm not going to talk that whole fucking time before I go. At this point, Doyle, I'm just laughing. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just laughing.
You've got to, haven't you, lad? Because otherwise, what? You know what I mean?
Otherwise,
can't watch Match of the Day tonight, lads. You know what I mean?
Fuck that.
Me evening, lads.
Ahmed here says we deserve that with our high line. We need to bounce back. There was a stat that came through during the game that last season we played teams 41 times offside, we played teams offside 41 more times than anyone else in the league last season. It clearly does work sometimes, but tonight, like this comment says here, we deserved to concede so many. When you play that high line, and they were clever, all of their goals, they pretty much just ran in from their own half.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They literally carried the ball, and he went through the midfield. That's what I mean about discombobulated. The team didn't have any structure. They just gave the ball to Mo Salah and went, "You scored a goal for us there, lads." That's all. That's what the team did today, lad. It was madness. Even Virgil just looked like he didn't lead or anything. It was madness watching that team today. What? That was not Liverpool.
What has happened, Doyle? What on earth has happened?
All right, lad. It is what it is.
Moose in here adds that obviously Man United conceded 6 goals today. Do you know what I was thinking, Doyle?
Well, lads.
I was thinking, I hope it's not 8-2, so there's not those I'd 8-2 be a Liverpool fan.
They'll find another way to work a 7-2 somehow, lad. There'll be a meme somewhere. Fucking, it is what it is, lad. We need to come back. Smoke everything.
I had Villa to go down. What do I know? For me, last season, the best player he had was Hendo. Klopp will lift his players and fix it. Gomez today, my word. I've never seen a centre-back so rattled. Absolutely. Ollie Watkins had him on toast today. I can't lie to you.
His head was battered, lads.
That was a fucking shocking performance. Did that happen because Henderson wasn't on the pitch? Adrian, this is how emotionally drained I am. I'm yawning because I've just felt like I've woken up from a disgraceful nightmare.
A nightmare, lad. From a nightmare. That's what you just woke up from, lad.
Gomez played shit. Error-prone idiots, Adrian and Gomez. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm a Real Madrid fan. Love your channel. Well, thank you. If there's one good thing today to come out of it, it's that a Real Madrid fan loves the Kop TV. But I'd have to agree, Adrian and Gomez were awful today. A lot of laughing going on. A lot of silly quotes like this saying sack Klopp. I mean, it's ridiculous. A lot of laughing. Kosai makes a good point, Doyle. Before we get James Redmond on to join you, he says, if you figure out the high line, it's too easy to beat this Liverpool team. All you need is two ball up top and it's finished. James, you just seen me read out that question there, brother. No laughing, no joking on the intros today for you, mate. This is fucking really bad.
I can't hear you. I've got a clue what's going on. Wait.
Get some new headphones, bro.
Yeah, we go. There we go.
There we go, lads.
Right.
My earphones aren't wanting to work like I'm not wanting to work right now.
James, it's a laugh or a cry
Alex,
moment.
I cannot hear Alex.
You can't hear Alex. Well, basically what he's saying is, lad, what was that? What was that, Jay, lad?
Listen, right, Alex, I can't hear you and I don't know what's going on, but quite frankly, I think the technical difficulties is just representing every ounce of shit that happened that game.
Correct,
Nice one for
lad.
that, Doyle, by the way. But you know what, lads? It's just not good enough. That was not a good enough performance. Now, one thing I do want to just state before I do say anything about how shit we was, and also the credit that Aston Villa deserve, is if you're not going to support your team through the lows, then don't support them at all. Because at the end of the day, this is a one-off. We are not used to seeing this. The last time we had a performance this mad was against Spurs or something. The last time I was this sad was against Stoke City 3-1, but 6-1. Sorry, when Steven Gerrard left. But
yeah, lads.
Today it was just unexpected. It just was. It felt like I was watching the Premier League champions versus the under-9s, and guess who the 8-year-olds was? Because it weren't Liverpool today. And you know what, mate? I don't think it's good enough to jump on throats, and I do think people like Adrian and Joe Gomez do deserve to be criticised. But be all and end all, mate, is you criticise them on the football and not on further, because we remember the backlash that Nico Williams got after the Lincoln game, and we remember Karius after the Real Madrid game. That's the only time I don't like associating myself with other Liverpool fans, when you're going in on too personal. So yeah, we can criticise the performance, but just criticise the football. That's it.
Football was
Let's coming in, Paul. Thank God I'm getting paid tomorrow so I can afford the cab fare and the flight to actually have to fuck off. I mean,
still can't hear Alex.
You still can't hear me. I don't know why Doyle.
Alex, your mic and my mic can't mix them, bro.
Well, I can be the translator, lad. Anyway, don't worry, lad. I live in London and I'm a Scouser, lad. You live in Liverpool and you're a Scouser.
You know the score, Doyle. You know the fucking score, lad.
It was just one of them games, wasn't it, lad, where nothing went right for us. I said to Gilly earlier, lad, I said 3 of the goals were deflections, lad. What can you do with deflections, lad? You know what I mean? Even as bad as Adrian, like I said, like Adrian didn't play well, but he can't do nothing with 3 deflected goals neither. So it's like, it's one of them, innit? It was just one of them days. I want to see what we're like when we come to play Everton. This is the big one for me now. Everton are flying. They got that Rodriguez who's fucking boss, mate. So I just want to see Thiago just show him how to play footy, lad. That's what I want to see, lad. I want to see a team. But you know what? This is not easy for us, even when Everton are not playing well and they've got a bad team, yeah. They always give us a game, lad. They give us a game every time. So just have to see, don't we, lads? We just have to see. We're not used to this. We don't know what to do with this.
Can you still not hear me, James?
No, you can't, lad.
Take your headphones out and put them back in again, bro.
He said, take your headphones out. Put them back in, Jay.
I'm going to just remove him from the stream and then add him in a sec. Right, who is to blame? A performance like that is fucking disgraceful, in my opinion, from a Liverpool team that are the Premier League champions, former champions of Europe. That is fucking disgraceful. Who is to blame? Can you now hear me, James? For fuck's sake.
It's not happening, boys.
The headphones are to blame, lad.
Right, ask James who's to blame for this. Who's to blame, Doyle? Ask
James, Alex has said, who do you think is to blame for today's cock up, lad. Do you think it's Klopp? Do you think it's a player? And I know you said we got to blame the football, and I agree, lad. I definitely do. I don't like calling players out, and never ever like to call players out. But if you could say, what was the downfall, and what was it today that went wrong? What was it, lad?
Well, to be honest with you, Doyle, mate, I think the answer is just we look like a Sunday league team, and we look like we were playing someone who was a professional. It was just the level was unreal, the difference level, and I'm not even like as good as Aston Villa was. That was one that could be up there with top 2 worst Liverpool performance I've ever seen in my life, and it was that bad and it was that unexpected. I don't really know what the cause for concern is. I don't think we should panic. We are the Premier League champions, but like you said, we're not really used to this. It's been a while since we've been spanked up like that. Usually if we get beat like that, it's by like a Man City. And when we do get beat, it's never usually 5-1 or 6-2 or 7-2 like today. I'm just speechless. I can't really comprehend just how unreal that was and how easy it looked for Aston Villa to just get them balls in over the top and in behind. And it just wasn't good enough. Fair play to them. Fair play to players like Grealish. Fair play. Ross Barkley taught us a new one on his debut, which is just
Ross Barkley, lad. He's
never.
Pissed me off today.
He's pissed me off, Doyle, lad. But be all and end all is, lad, that just was not a good enough performance. And he taught us a new one. Jack Grealish taught us a new one. Who else? Who was their striker? Ollie Watkins taught us a new one. We really did look bad. I think I said it best before when it said it did look like the Premier League champions versus the under-9s, and we were the 8-year-olds. That's the only way I can somehow offer you a description of that game.
Yeah. Well,
so you're going to have to ask him the next question for me because I can't say it as well.
It looks like I'm going to be asking you some questions today, James.
Keep going.
Yeah, man.
To be honest, I'm just going to let you guys take over. I'm trying just to get myself happier by looking through these comments now than the laugh, to be honest. But Doyle,
so basically, Gilly's looking through some comments right now to try and cheer himself up, but I don't think he's going to get much joy in there because most of them are saying it's my fault why we lost, to be honest. And to be honest, lad, I feel like it is today, lad, because I can't explain what else it was today, lad. It must have been me. Because what else was it, lad? What else happened today to make Liverpool concede 7-2? Maybe I had the wrong thing for Brechy today.
Doyle, I beg. Actually, I don't beg because I really do regret it now, but you should see the shit and the smack talk that I was putting on Twitter just before the Liverpool game, because obviously Man United lost 6-1. I put out a tweet saying, Man United are losing 6-1 at home, full stop. And I thought that was dead funny. And next thing you know, that happens. And it's like, what have I done to God and like the gods of football to deserve a backlash like that? I don't usually go in on other teams. I really, really don't. I've had many times to go in on Manchester United. And the day that I choose to do it, we get slapped up 7-2.
Because we've obviously been too smug, lad. We're all being too complacent, lad. And the lords of football have just said,
calm your fucking selves
down.
down.
Shut up, boys. You know what I mean, lad? This shut up, lad. And then we just got smoked by a team that's literally stayed up on the last day by a fucking point.
Yeah.
I feel heavy. But it is what it is, lad. Like, I feel like if we bounce back, which we can, we're not City, lad. We do bounce back. We can do this, you know what I mean?
Doyle.
There's no explanation for what happened today other than...
Yeah.
Shite.
Tell Alex this is something that he'll understand. That performance was absolutely fucking wank. That's what that performance was. It was shit, mate. It was terrible. Man. You know that, don't you, Alex? You know that, lad.
Wank, lad, yeah.
I mean, I'm still finding the words to take in what's happened this evening. Huddy Boy here says, in the week he said we had to watch Watkins. Doyle asked James what he thought about the ease that Watkins had with scoring 3 goals against our first fucking choice defence.
That's a heavy question. So, the lad that scored, what's his name? Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scored at hat-trick. You know, the first player in a decade scored at hat-trick against us, lad. How do you think he played in that? How do you think?
I don't want to try and discredit Villa too much. I've made that like very, punctual in the duration of this video. But at the end of the day, we made it too easy for him. Every goal looked the same. He got a one-on-one chance every time he could have. And he also could have got about 4 or 5. In total, Aston Villa could have about 10 or 11 goals. And I'm really not exaggerating. That was just piss poor. Defense. How is Van Dijk classed as the best centre-back in the world and putting a performance like that. And I think he still is. Absolutely, he still is. And this is still, let's not forget, this is still the best team in world football. And I will not change that opinion on one what was really, really bad. But still, like, you know, you can't change it. Like you said, you can't get off your high horses off one stump in the road. It's going to happen. And I actually think if we're going to try and pick out any sort of positives out of the game, then let's say if this could be a good kick up the arse for the derby, because going into the game, it didn't look right. First 5 minutes wasn't right. Everything went wrong from there. Even we got it back to 2-1 and it looked like we could have built something. Nothing just absolutely finito. But it could have gave us a little bit of a kick up the arse that was necessary with the upcoming derby after the international break.
I think what I'm genuinely, like I said, we don't like smaller players. I don't like smaller players. But I'm genuinely worried about having Adrian in goal against an attacking Everton who are on form, with the James Rodriguez, who knows how to slot a through ball. You know, like, the fella makes a yard in a phone box. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play football. And if Adrian puts a step out of line, you'll catch him out, lads. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Doyle, I agree with you a million%, mate, because the one thing about Adrian, and this is why I said the difference of criticising a footballer about his football and his and all the other stuff, because we know football fans can be very aggressive from time to time, especially Liverpool fans. They can go a bit too far. Criticise him on his football. If you want him to leave the club, that's absolutely okay. Do you want me to tell you why? Because he's gave us more than one reason to want to believe that. But I agree with you, mate. Against Everton, it's not going to be good enough. But one thing I think Liverpool do need to do, as much as I don't think we should go in on Adrian for his personal life and stuff like that, go in on him on his football. But what we need to do is get a new backup goalkeeper, in my opinion. And I'm not saying it off one bad performance. There's been multiple mistakes that have led to Adrian, you know, creating huge problems for us. And that's the first goal, arguably the most important goal of the day, that leads the game to how it is. Don't get me wrong, the 10 players that were on the field in front of Adrian weren't good enough themselves, but having that goalkeeper in between the sticks doesn't help. And with how, I don't want to say this, but how injury prone Alisson seems to look nowadays, we do need a new backup, mate. We just do.
I felt like Adrian and Gomez were feeding off each other's nervousness today, if that makes sense. The pair of them just didn't seem right. Adrian was out of position. Gomez kept giving the ball away. But like I said, it wasn't one man why we messed up today. Like, it literally wasn't. The entire team. I've never seen Virgil look like he's not on the pitch, lad.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in my life, ever. It's weird, lad. That team just had a massive off day. That's why I'm not panicking right now. I know we just conceded 7 goals. I know we did. But the first time in about a million years that we've conceded that many, you know what I mean? I'm not bothered, mate. Like, it is what it is. We'll bounce back, lad, with Liverpool, you know what I mean? Like, we'll bounce back, lad. That's what we do, lad.
Doyle, that's the energy that I need to hear right now, because I feel like I'm the only one thinking this type of way. Like, it is just one game. It's not the end of the world. It's not panic stations. Literally, the only thing I took away from that game is today was nowhere near good enough. No one turned up, and we need a backup goalkeeper, a new backup goalkeeper. That's it. It's not that, oh, what if we aren't competing for the... I still think we're going to compete for the league. I still think we're going to go very far. But just today, they're the lessons that I took from the game. The backup goalkeeper being the numero uno. But people like Joe Gomez, today was shit, and I thought he should have been taken off at like half time. But to say like we need a new centre back and shit like that, he's our centre back for years to come. He'll be England's centre back.
I reckon going forward, what we need to do is.
By the way, let's just say something. I just got a knock at the door.
Fabinho, fat man like Big Fab.
I just got a knock at the door, and my mate just sent me this.
Fantastic, lad.
My mate has just fucking sent me that.
Thanks.
A Tottenham fan.
Fuck you, Alex. Fuck you. Read that, motherfucker.
Fuck you, Jay, lad. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Jacob.
Jacob, you little knobhead.
Pussy.
Who's he support, lad?
He supports Tottenham. To be fair, I actually needed a drink.
We got the final and got smoked, lad.
Is he a Tottenham fan?
Yeah. I hope you're watching, Jacob, lad.
Fucking hell. This is what I was like during the game. I was needing me glasses because I was just there like, what the fuck is any of this performance? Like, it makes no sense. Even on my Instagram, I done a half-time reaction and I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think, and it just was all confusion and bullshit. And I'm not happy, Doyle and Alex. I'm not happy.
You know what?
Not, you know,
I want to see an
I'm
apology
just
from
gonna
the
laugh.
boys, you know.
I'm just gonna laugh. Fuck it. I've decided.
From
I'm
what,
just
boys?
gonna laugh now.
Oh,
From the team, lads. I want an apology from them to say, hey, we were shite there, we'll do better. Because this team
defo.
is better than that, lad. And I wouldn't usually say that, yeah. But 7 goals, the boys. Hey, 7 of them. We had to watch you concede 7 goals, lad. We're all going to go to work. We're all going to be with our mates getting tethered about this for 2 whole weeks, lad. Yeah, I want an apology letter. I want to have some kind of something. You know what I mean? It just
I want it sent to my fucking door, Doyle, lad.
yeah,
That's
lad,
what I want.
I want Klopp to knock on my door and go, you're all right, Doyle, lad. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want to talk about it, lad? And
No,
I'll be like,
that's
yeah,
it.
fuck it, do, lad. Yeah, mate. What was that, lad? You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is, lad, like I said, drink that 7-Up, lad. Hold that 7-Up. Nice one for the free drink, Jacob, lad. 7-Up is sound. Don't mind that. Yeah, no, we'll come back, lad.
We'll come back.
I mean, right. I'm gonna get Darren in here as well. He's with us now. Darren Whelan, all the way from Ireland. Talk to me, bro. Fucking.
Yeah, it wasn't Super Sunday today, lads. It was Shambolic Sunday. Yeah, usually disappointing, but I think it's easy just to blame the obvious Adrian after 4 minutes. I think all the lads were really, I'd say 0 out of 10 tonight, apart from Salah and Robbo. I thought at least they tried, did a bit of fight, a bit of heart. And I mean, look, our biggest strength is normally our strength and fight, but tonight there was just none of that. Gomez, Alex, I was only on the show, John, I praising him, saying how good he is for 23. He's at 23, he's played at a better level than Virgil, Terry, Ferdinand. But tonight, I mean, it was 0 out of 10. He was shambolic, awful. Every bad word I can say was to sum up Gomez tonight. But I think it would have been too easy to take him off when we were all calling for him to come off. It would have shot his confidence down, and we know how good Klopp is at sticking by lads and implementing that fight and never give up and just play them through it. So, yeah, hugely disappointing. Very lethargic, very sloppy. 205 points over the last 240 points still says to me how good we are. I mean, if we win the league this season, which I still think we will, lads, it's even more of a reason to have a bigger, better party than what we had just gone. I mean,
don't forget, Darren, we've still got a bloody trophy presentation booked in to ride this trophy around the court, by the way.
Oh my God, Alex, I can hear you now, by the way.
Love that.
My G.
My G. So listen, Darren, Kossai makes a point here. I'm getting texts and abuse, by the way. Every 10 seconds, a text is coming in to abuse me. An Instagram story mentioned. I'm sure you're the same, James Doyle. Darren, who's to blame today? Because Kossai here says we have to take the banter. We deserve it. And do you know what? We fucking do today. Klopp, hope he stops with us properly. We deserve to get the piss taken out of us today. Look.
Oh yeah. We just if you saw the tweets that I was putting up before this game. Oh, I absolutely deserve every ounce of banter that comes my way. But do I care? No, because I'm sure we'll be the best team in the world again when we beat Everton in the derby.
Know what I mean, lad?
Big shout. Doyle, you go.
Lad, Thiago's just going to come on, score that hat-trick, lad, and it'll all be sound, lad. We'll all just chill out, have a cup of tea, lad, and top of the league, lad, you know what I mean? That's all that's going to happen, don't worry. No, lad.
Once Thiago's in, we'll be all right, lads. We'll be fucking gravy.
We'll just walk and go, the boys. Don't worry, I'm going to sort this out.
Roy Richards here says Doyle is to blame, plain and simple. Darren, do you agree with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't. I won't blame yourself, James. I go with you tonight. Yeah. Sorry, Doyle.
There's no other explanation, lad. It must be you, lad.
I think all the crazy comments since you come on, so a bad defeat is definitely Doyle.
I've been happy to write the apology then, lad. I'll write you an apology. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Doyle, take your hand off your phone speaker. We're struggling to hear you properly.
Sorry, lads. There we go.
Sorry, lad.
Right, James, how long does this hurt for us now? Because there's no game for now 2 weeks. Like you said, it's against Everton in the derby. What do we do for the next 2 weeks? Do we dive into the market like madmen tonight to try and get a second keeper? What do we do for the next 2 weeks? Help me, please, James. What do I do?
We get a backup goalkeeper, Alex. I think
When?
that's the one. No,
When?
Today, tomorrow, I don't give a fuck. Get him in. Get anyone
Yeah,
in.
lad, just go and buy. Just go and buy like a Nick Pope, lad. Just go and yell it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just
Anyone.
Just give that kid. You know what I mean? Go and buy fucking Pickford.
Don't buy. Don't. No, we're not talking about Pickford. Right, we're not talking about Pickford and Adrian.
Like, think about it. I don't know who we can get right now. Who would you say right now that would be available for Klopp to just ring up and go, hey, do you want to play for the Redmen?
There's plenty of people who'd want to come to us, Doyle. There's so many people that would want to come to Liverpool that are better than Adrian. And like I said, I'm not saying all this off one bad performance from Adrian. I have been given many reasons to think the way I'm thinking. Same for other Liverpool fans. It's not his first rodeo. Not only seven. There's more than 7 reasons, Doyle, but 7 of them came today. I agree with you. You're absolutely right, my fella. But one thing I just want to establish is, yeah, we win a lot of games with Adrian and goal, but that's because we're a Liverpool Football Club. And today, it became undone. And like I said, it was the 10 players in front of them's fault as well. But just not good enough. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, we do need a new goalkeeper. Absolutely.
There was no logical explanation for today other than the high line didn't work. The players were off. There was a few goals. That was it, lad. There's nothing else. Like you said, just got to hold the L. Bounce back. Simple as that, lad. That's what it is.
Is this a case of just shutting up and being humble now for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, it is, lad. That's exactly what you do when you're a champion, lad. You go, didn't work that, so let's get back to the drawing board and see what we can do differently. And I really think it's going to come from changing the formation and using Bobby maybe as a centre attack and mid, maybe putting Thiago at the back and putting Fab in centre back as well. Like, I don't know.
What do we do, boys? Because obviously we didn't see this as a huge issue before the game. We've been totally embarrassed. You see Klopp there laughing. He wasn't going to cry, was he? So he had to laugh.
No, you laugh at crying. You laugh at crying.
You lads, what the fuck?
It was just like,
well, the international break is normally a bad thing.
Go ahead, Darren.
Lads, the international breaks, lads, are normally a bad thing, but I think this time it's relief for us. I think we're going to, get the lads away with a couple of countries, a few of the lads that aren't gone, just, I suppose, regroup, get over this, and then get back. And it's probably come at a good time for us, the international break. Probably the once as being a Liverpool fan, I've been so relieved to see this break coming. But I mean, just get back to get the lads back again. Put Fabinho in centre back, I think, for the next game. Thiago will come in, Henderson will come in. Alisson looks like he's going to be out for another couple of weeks, which is huge. And the difference tonight, lads, taking Alisson, Henderson, Thiago out of the team, Mane, having those 4 out who will be guaranteed 4 starters was huge. And it was catastrophic for us in the end. But there was no excuse tonight to lose 7-2, whether you're missing your best players or not. It's just not good enough, and we definitely weren't at the races tonight. As I said, it wasn't Super Sunday, it was Shambolic Sunday, and what a crazy Shambolic Sunday it was for ourselves and obviously our rivals up the road, Manchester United.
Doyle, just a quick word on United again. They concede 6. We were in the pub earlier laughing our heads off. We concede 7. I mean, Darren's laughing. Doyle, we've had a laugh. This is a fucking huge wake-up call, lads. It's a huge wake-up call.
It is, lad. Like I said, we're Liverpool. We bounce back. That's what we do, lad. But we need to be smart about how we're going to bounce back now. I feel like we need to look after our players. We need to, and what I mean by that is Gomez, Adrian, maybe Adrian doesn't start. Maybe put another kid on it. I don't know. But we need to give Gomez a rest, lad. He needs to chill, lad. He needs to have a little bit of time out, lad, just so he can focus, lad, because he looks frazzled. You know what I mean? He doesn't look.
Roy Richards says Klopp should go home, have a large schnitzel and chips and get to bed. Tomorrow's a new day. It's Doyle's fault at the end of the day. And I've seen that Darren hanging around Stanley Park today. His fault too.
Yeah, take some blame.
Nice one, Darren, lad. We'll all
yeah. We'll all share a bit of the spoils, lad. You know, we can't just hang Doyle out to dry on this one.
Yeah, do you know what? I just feel like there's no analytical way of breaking down what the fuck has just happened to Liverpool. There isn't, lad.
Yeah.
We just fell apart, lad. That's simple as that, really. Fell apart, lad. Adrian was like, "What's going on?" Gomez was like, "What's going on?" And then we conceded 7 goals, lad.
And Dicko Scouser here says, still champions of England. Yes, of course we are champions of England. But let me remind you of this, boys. 4 league defeats in 80, which is obviously a great record. But now, technically, we've lost 2 in a row. For me, this makes everything now rest on the Derby game. If we lose that, it could be 3 losses in a row. No one fucking wants that, bro. Fuck me.
No, fuck me, lad. No, don't want to see that.
No.
This is what I mean. This is the big game on. This was a big game. This, by the way, this was a chance to pull away from the big ones.
We would have been 8 points ahead of City if we won tonight, lads.
Yep, we fucked it up.
Yeah.
That's what it is, lad. City will be sitting there made up, lad, that we've just lost like that. Especially because they're gonna feel like our confidence is being shot. I just hope Klopp takes them in and just goes, boys, everyone, that. But this is what we're gonna do next. It's up to Klopp now. This is where Klopp comes into play, lad. It's not just these players, lad. These players are being complacent. So now Klopp's got to slap them up, lad, and be like, listen, boys, you've got to focus. And he's got to try and work something differently, lad. He's got to try and, I don't know. He's got to do something different, I think. A little something different, lad, against Everton that people aren't going to expect. Because we're going to struggle with Adrian and goal already. We're just gone in. So we need to make sure we bag a few goals, lad. That's what I think. And with Pickford, as in the form that he's in as well. He's in terrible form himself, by the way. So, with him in terrible form, is Mane going to be back? Is Mane back for that game?
We think Mane is back, but at the same time, you know, it's difficult to know how long Alisson's going to be out. Klopp's already come out and said that it's probably going to be more than the international break. So, Adrian, you'd imagine, would play that game against Everton. Thiago will play. Mane will come back. The only weak link we have there is the goalkeeper. But Darren, in your opinion, in this next 48 hours now, are Liverpool now forced to replace Adrian and sell him, get him out of the club? We still have the time of 48 hours.
I would love to see it happening, Alex. I think we all would, to be honest. I think we've all been on the fence a little bit with Adrian. And I think particularly it goes back to pre-Atletico Madrid last season. We were all a bit iffy about him. But when you go back to the game, I was at that game, Atletico Madrid, where we had 35 shots on goal. I think it was 12 or 13 on target. They had 5 or 6 on target. And they conceded 2 from 2 howlers. We conceded 2 because of Adrian's 2 howlers. That was the day where I thought he's just not cut over. It was like another calamity of Cardias. And yeah, it's usually disappointing and he's easy to blame, but tonight wasn't just his fault. He was the start of it and he's the easy target with this. But as I said, apart from Salah and Robertson, the rest of the lads are absolutely shambolic. And are we going to bring the right keeper? The chances are probably not, because it's not what Klopp does, lads, and we have to be realistic about that. He's not just going to get him out and bring in someone else. It's not in his nature. Kelleher, I think, coming in will be a better chance. I know a couple of people, particularly over here, Jay Givens, rapped about Kelleher, how good he is, and a couple of lads over here. So I don't know a lot about him, but he can't be any worse, can he? So, but we're not going to sign anybody, I don't think so. I'm very surprised.
Neither do I. I can't see Klopp going out and signing anybody. I just don't know who he would. It's too days to go.
Another thing, today was our heaviest league defeat since 1963, which was last against Spurs. If we can get our next one in 2063, it'd be 300 years. You know, I can take that, but I mean, today was it was a real off day. No words to describe it apart from awful, terrible, all the bad words you have. But look, I'll be optimistic going in against Everton, because every time we seem to play Everton, particularly whether it's at home or away in the last couple of seasons, the Evertonians are banging the drum about it's a great time to play Liverpool and we can get something until the 95th minute and it really pops up, you know. So I'm not going to buy into Everton beating us. I'm really not, lads. As bad and as low as I am tonight, I just don't see it happening. Worst scenario, that is a draw, but let's hope I'm right. I wasn't Thursday night about today's prediction, so I have to be right again.
Well, Charlie's right, of course. He says, win or lose, love the Kop TV, love that. He also says like and subscribe. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel, please do it now. Kosai, just a quick one. Doyle says, time to drop Firmino. We actually saw Firmino miss a chance, a great chance, earlier on in the season where he got it out under his feet. There was another chance today, Doyle, where he takes it with his right foot and tries to go over the keeper. But if he opens his body up and left foots it, why is there no confidence on the left-hand side there for Firmino? I tweeted about it as soon as he missed.
He's lost his bit of his mojo, and he needs taking off, lad. I think for him, he's lost his confidence. Klopp's given him enough time for him to try and gain it again. And this is what I mean about trying something different. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We need to try and change the formation up. We need to try and change up the tactics, lad, and we need to try and protect our players. So Adrian's not great. Okay, so what can we do to protect Adrian so that he's not getting so many balls into him? Do you get what I mean? We need to think of these things. Because today, what we did, we went out, like we had Alisson in goal, lad, and we had our full strength team. And the reality is, we didn't, lads. We need to adapt. It's not all, we can't just do the same thing all the time, lads. We haven't got the players to do that, obviously, because look what happened tonight. So, what we need to do, lad, is think of something different. That's why we bought Thiago, and that's why we got Jota. Please give us options, so let's use them. That's what I think, anyway. I think Bobby needs to drop him for a few games, and Gomez needs to drop him for a few games. I massively agree with that. I actually do. Bobby, I love Bobby. Boss player. Probably one of our best technical players. But you're not working right now. So let's get something that is. You know what I mean? Let's try and try something else. It's as simple as that.
Dan, what do you think about that? Would you maybe take Gomez and maybe Firmino, Adrian out of the firing line for the next game?
Well, there's an element of risk in that, lads, and I do agree with what Doyle's saying, Alex. And I think the element of risk is that if you do leave them out and they come back worse, it shoots that confidence. Because Klopp, we know, normally hand around the players, reel on with the players in terms of sticking by them, breeding them with confidence, even at the lowest point. And we've seen it with Lovren many a times where he's put that hand around Lovren, stuck by him, and he's come back stronger. I remember one particular game, he actually caught Lovren out. We lost 4-1 at Spurs away, and he stuck with Lovren after that, and we all expected he was going to be dropped. And I remember Lovren going on a good run of games and was very consistent, as surprised us all. So I don't know whether that will happen, but I do agree it wouldn't be a bad thing if it did. I'm kind of for it. I'm also probably slightly against it because I don't want to shoot the confidence. But I think Firmino, he played really well of late up until today, off the ball particularly. But today he was terrible off the ball, terrible when he had the ball at his feet, terrible going in front of goal. Hopefully it's just a blip, which I think it is. I think we're too good, too strong, too experienced to be consistent in losing. I really, really do, lads, and I might be laughed at for this, but I just think today is an off day. It's a blip, and we're going to the break now, and we come back and no better team to play than go to Goodison, where we haven't scored, and I know the next game we will go there and score. And Salah is crispy, sharp. I always say majestic, momentous Mo. He'll go to Goodison, I think, and back to the score. We have Naby back, Thiago back, Hendo back. I think, lads, that's going to give them players, make them 10-4 higher. You know what I mean? When you look at that team sheet, Henderson in, captain fantastic, Thiago, the experience, 7 consistent league title, European Cup, command the match in it, bringing in Mane, we know how good he is, a lion, a warrior. So I'm going to remain optimistic, lads, but I'm definitely pissed off about today, like all of us would be. But look, that's football, and bring on the Blues next, and let's hope we make them feel blue after it.
Doyle, a big comment here from Pete. He says the next 3 to 5 games decides the fate of our season. So we have Everton, and then after that, I think we have a Champions League game, and then after that, I think it's Sheffield United at home to Anfield. Massive games coming up. We have to just, I mean, in one way, I completely agree with Darren and think what better game to come back after the international break than Everton. But any other time in history, if you don't want to play them, it's probably now. But any other time in history, you probably do fancy them. Doyle, 7 wins out of 7 for them this season. I mean, it's not
they played, lad. They played Tottenham.
I'm back into
They played Spurs, and Spurs were terrible.
Yeah, they haven't really played anybody, lad. It's like, I know we got beat 7-2 by Aston Villa, lads, and no doubt. Yeah, but they're on a high right now. Just like when Ole took over. And, you know, Man United won a few games, and it was like, whoa, look how boss Man United are under Ollie, and now the shite. Like, it is what it is, lad. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're going to be as good as they think they're going to be against us, I can tell you that. I know that. They're going to come against us and think 7-2. Yeah, we're going to smoke these. Ancelotti's going to be telling them there's weaknesses all over the team and that. And this is what I mean. He needs to change the tactics, Klopp, now. He needs to do something a bit different, lad. And he's got the tools to do it. So fucking do it, mate. This is the time to do it. We've been found out. We got beat 7-2. Let's do something about it. Simple as that for me. It's sound. It is what it is. We've won the champion. We've literally lost 10 games in 130 games. But like, you can't moan. You can't moan, lads.
Right.
So what? We lost 7-2 today. But if we want to win the league and we want to compete still, lad, then we have to change up what we're doing, lad, because it's not working. Today never worked. And although we beat Chelsea, they gave us the game a little bit in the sense that, you know, it was 2-0. They got a red card, and then by that we took the game. It was games like against the Leeds. Leeds are a good team, by the way. Definitely a good team. They showed against City as well. But we're not the same team that we are last season. So if we're not the same team that we were last season, we can't do the same things. So let's change it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's simple as that for me. That's what it is.
A final question.
Another point.
A final question for you both before we head off tonight. I'm going to give you both 30 seconds, and I want you to pretend that you were Jurgen Klopp in the dressing room at the end of the game. You need 30 seconds to give him a good old lashing, but also pick him up for the next game as well. We're going to start with you, Doyle, first. You've got 30 seconds to pretend you're Jurgen Klopp ripping into the lads. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right, Z boys. What is going on, Matt? No, I'm not going to do an accent. I think he ran in and was just like, "What's happening, boys? This is not who you are. What are you doing? We eat schnitzels every day, lad. We train for this every day, lad. What is going on? None of you are getting a bevy after the game. None of you are my mates. Can't be arsed with this. Watch when I see you on the coach afterwards." I think that's what happened, lads, yeah.
30 seconds on the head. Love that. Very inspiring from Doyle. Love it. 30 seconds from you. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're away.
No words needed. A few of the players, 1 to 11, get a few slaps. Okay, that's done. But Jurgen will remind the lads that this is a good time for a reality check. United are crap. City have spent nearly 400 million on defenders, and none of them got into our team. Arsenal are not going to be anywhere near us. Everton are a flash in the pan. The best team they played this season was Spurs, and Spurs were awful. Who else we got around us? Chelsea. Frank is going to be watching Chelsea at Christmas on Sky. He's going to be a pundit. He'll be gone. He spent 200 million, all the pressure's on him. So Liverpool, we're the model. We're the team that's set out. Let's have a break. There's not going to be a nerd thing off of you tonight, lads, and let's come back and beat the Blues. Let's make them feel blue, and we'll all celebrate in Liverpool. A few of our tops off, the Airdingers will be flying, and it's back to being our stated world champions, and we kick on. Happy days.
That was about a minute. I think you would have got kicked out after 30 seconds there, Darren. But a lot of throwing shade at other teams, maybe without looking into ourselves. There's a few shouts here that, again, it's Doyle's fault. Diego says, Klopp telling the lads, it's all on Doyle.
I accept the thing. I accept.
Bastard
I
Doyle.
will do better next time, all right? I'll do better next time with them.
Right, guys. I mean, by the end, it's nice to see that we can have a laugh. It is easily, in my opinion, the worst performance I've seen in 25 years as a Liverpool fan. I'm going to say it's a big statement, but it's fucking true. 7 goals conceded tonight, lads. It doesn't get much worse. Heads up, though. We're going to have to sit on this for 2 weeks. It's going to be absolutely horrible. It'll be very interesting to see what we do in the transfer market tomorrow and the next day. But guys, as the Anfield Corp says, this is mad. Am I actually living on this earth? Who knows? Doyle and Darren, thank you so much, my brothers. Heads up, and I don't know what to say, but yeah, take care, Darren. Yeah, kick them out tomorrow, G. Oh, Jesus Christ. Big up the Kop TV minus Doyle. Roy Richards really had it in for Doyle tonight. According to Klopp, Alisson is going to miss the derby. Yeah, we know this now. Looking like the derby is going to be a full-strength team, actually, apart from Alisson. Adrian will be in goal for that. Tough one to take. Really tough one to take. But in this situation, I do think you have to have a bit of a laugh. It's a very, very, very big lesson. It's a very big humbling. And look, we're big enough and ugly enough to realise that sometimes, every 5 or 6 years, a result like this happens. Look at Arsenal away at Man United. They lost 8-2. We let in 7 today, and I've been getting sent bottles of 7-Up. That's how you've just got to take it on the chin tonight. Because if I wasn't laughing right now and the camera wasn't on, trust me, I would be crying my sweet, sweet eyes out. But hey, listen, tomorrow, some of the comments as well tonight are absolutely hilarious. I have to say, absolutely hilarious. This is a huge, huge, huge comment here. 11 goals conceded in 4 games. It's a joke, absolute joke. But guys, tomorrow at midnight, I think, or Tuesday at midnight, I can't even get. I just don't even know what to say anymore. But the transfer window does shut. It'll be very interesting to see whether we are ruthless. I don't think we're going to do it. I cannot see us going in to the transfer window so hastily tomorrow, especially after we've just let rid of Ryan Brewster. Clearly, we needed goals off the bench tonight. Ed the Red says get Lovren back. I don't think so, mate. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. On Tuesday, we'll have another Wednesday this week is top of the Kops. And then at the weekend as well, it's the international break. So no game for Liverpool until that all-important Merseyside derby at Woodison Park. I can't wait for that one. We're going to be very, very, very angry. And you know what angry people do once they've been bitten? They come back and they try and get you. So let's hope that that is our comeback when we play Everton next week. But until then, guys, I'm embarrassed. I can't lie. Again, laughing to hide the pain. It's all a facade. Inside, I'm really upset. And it's such a shame because I've had such a nice day today as well. Oh, mental. But anyway, listen, take care. And I guess, yeah, just chins up. And yeah, just going to have to hold this out.